Like listening to Toxic Radio?
Goddamn right.
But don't forget, this is the 21st century. Join us in the social media world. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pornhub.
Pornhub?
Nah, just kidding. Or am I? Toxic Radio. Get infected. Planning your Saturday night can be a bit of a bitch.
Saturday night is the loneliest night in the week.
Well, it doesn't have to be. Load up Toxic Radio every Saturday night for the heavy metal happy hour. With the one and only Fishman.
I know that, dude.
There will be interviews, ticket giveaways, a little bit of banter with Toxic Mike, and of course great metal from the 80s all the way through today. Starts at 7 p.m., runs until Fish says it's over.
Everyone get out!
Catch it only on Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic. Once every generation, there comes an event that alters how we perceive our world. That changes our expectations of what is possible. This is not really one of those events. But hey, Toxic Radio has a brand new studio, and that fucking rocks. So join us in celebrating our excellent new home. Toxic Radio. Awesomer than ever before. What? That is so a word.
Some media. Hungry for Hope Nation. Your host here, Reckless Donnie Hart, and I am joined by my co-host,
Big Time Tim Coaches.
His voice is hurting today, so he did.
But you robbed our listeners and people tuning in of your dance before the show. Your pre-show dance just now.
Oh, man. Tim, I'd love to talk more, but we are joined by our guest live in the studio. I am here with Motivator Mae.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? You know what's so dope about this? When I look around the room, I see different colors, man, and we talk about racism and all kind of crazy stuff that's going on in this world, but it's a room full of love, and that's what's most important. So I'm glad to be here with my brothers. Don't have the same skin color, but they're my brothers.
Absolutely, man. I always try to preach that, man. Our show, we inspire, but we also try to bring everybody together, man. I don't care who you are, where you're from. If you're a good person, man, I'm going to try to connect us and connect the community. We need a lot of negativity going on in this world, man. We need more people sticking together.
Yeah, love is important, brother.
Thank you for coming to the show, man. We actually met. We met at the gym.
He a lot bigger than me, everybody. I just want y'all to know that.
I go to Planet Fitness. When I go to Planet Fitness, I'm usually, it's not a big guy gym. I'm usually the biggest guy there, and I see this guy come by, and he's playing air guitar. Big dude playing air guitar, and I just turn around and start playing it too. I could just feel the you had something about you walking. You had this kind of joy, and you lit up the room, man, and that's how we met, right? Man?
And I was listening to Bon Jovi. You gotta hold on to what we got. Doesn't make a difference if you make it or not.
You are a singer, songwriter, man. You do it. Tell us about yourself, man. You tell us.
I grew up in Bristol, New Jersey, man. South Jersey, as you guys know, about maybe 45 minutes from here, and grew up with a great family. Father was a pastor, mother was a pastor. Grew up in a great home, but I derailed and detoured myself because I wanted to be something that I wasn't. And I think a lot of times we can be surrounded by love, surrounded by support, but if we're empty on the inside, then we'll stay looking and searching for something that we already have. So to get where I got, I had to go through what I thought was beneath me, right? Like life is humbling, so it's all about growing us, man. So for me to be where I am right now, I think it's the grace of God, and there's also people like yourself and people around me that to help shape me into what I am becoming, right? So I'm still growing. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, you could definitely, when I'm real picky with who I get involved with the show, when I could see, I could just You could tell, man, you had that feeling like somebody who's seen some shit like me, man, and made it out, and now you inspire. You could just tell, man. I could tell pretty easy on. And talking to you for like 2 seconds, it was pretty obvious.
You know what's attractive and not the non-weirdest way is that you were humble. And I think a lot of times what people don't understand is when you're a big guy, you know this to be true. Whether you're hanging out for a drink, we get approached a lot and challenged a lot to provoke our bigness. And it's like, yo, we have big hearts, man. You know, like we can't help that we genetically made a certain way, but we just love people, man. And that's what I got from you. He was so excited about talking about Hunger from Hope and Toxic Radio. He talked about it relentlessly. You know, I was trying to get a couple sets, and he kept going and kept going. And I was like, this dude is passionate, which let me know he came from somewhere. And I was interested in supporting his journey because he was very transparent about his struggles. And he didn't talk too much about his strengths. And I think that makes a man. And you showed me that you were a man because you was not ashamed about what you've been through to get where you are, and that's powerful.
Yeah, man. Like you said, I didn't talk too much about my strengths. You know, anybody can tell you what they're doing, what they've done, man. But I think I've learned, and I think people learn the most from other people's mistakes, man. All my mistakes, all my wrong steps, all my darkest days got me to my brightest days, man.
Wow, that's humbling.
I'm sure you can relate, man.
Yes, sir.
You came up a good upbringing, and like you said, you got off the path, man. Probably didn't recognize that guy you became. That's how I was. You know, I went through the whole troubled times, man, incarceration, all that stuff.
Yeah, man, me too.
And that's why, you know, you see me, I'm so happy now because, you know, I've seen stuff I don't wish upon anybody, man.
Wow, bro. Wow.
I don't wish it on my worst enemy, man. And I just want people to know, hey, man, I made it through, so why not them, man?
Wow, that's powerful, bro.
So you said you were going through the rough times, you know, a little later on in your life, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Well, knowing what you know now and everything, the person you are now, what do you wish you knew when you were going through these rough times in your life?
That nobody's responsible for your choice but you. You have the greatest upbringing. You have the greatest surrounding. You could have money. You can have popularity. But it all boils down to a choice because when you have a course that you have to travel upon, with that course comes a challenge. Somebody's going to challenge you. It's going to challenge you. Going to challenge the brothers in the media room to become what they used to be. And the thing is, to see you here on Toxic Radio, this is where you always were supposed to be, right? So being a wrestler, right, that's a talent. But doing what you're doing at Toxic Radio is a gift. It's two different things. We get caught up in our talent, and we think that our talent is actually our purpose, right? No, it's actually just a platform to share your purpose. Toxic Radio is a platform to share a purpose all the way around the world to touch people from various environments, from the hood to the trailer park, to the suburbs, to the rich black communities, the rich white communities, right? It's a platform to share your purpose, and I think we get so caught up in thinking that things that we do well is actually our purpose. No, it's actually a road that you travel that leads to your purpose. So for me, what I have realized is that nobody controls my choice but me. God is not responsible. The white man or black man is not responsible because, you know, at being an African-American man, let me say this, right? You might run across a Caucasian guy, oh, he's racist. No, everybody's not racist. You know, you got to take responsibility and say that no matter what people are, who are you having the power to be? You have to remain yourself at all times because on the course, there will be challenges, man. So what I had to realize is that with the course, there'll be challenges, but in the results of the course and the challenges, it has to be my choice. So every day, I have to make the choice to be reluctant to negativity and be active about positivity.
Yeah, man, you bring up a great point. And taking responsibility, that's like the biggest thing, and it's the biggest like turn off of people who been through like rough times. Me, I went through, I couldn't make excuses. Trust me, man, a lot of shit went wrong. Tragedies happened in my life. You know, I was dealt a bad hand, man, but at the end of the day, I take full responsibility. I never tried to blame anyone, push the blame somewhere else, man, because I wouldn't be where I was if I did, man. When I became who I was, when I openly talked about it, I used to hide my past. I was embarrassed of it. And then I realized, man, my story can save lives, so I'd be doing a disservice to everybody.
Man, I remember, bro, when I was selling drugs, man, and I was selling cocaine and selling heroin, right? And I became a user of Percocets, right? I actually thought that I was okay because I didn't look like what we say a crackhead looks like, right? I was in the gym, I was in shape, I dressed nice, but I was popping perk 30s, like 5 of them a day, and I did it because it made me what? Feel good. We always run to the comfortability level of what things make us feel like, but sometimes where things are comfortable at is where things are tragic at, and we have to be careful, right? If you guys are married, right, you should know, right, the best relationships is the ones that challenge you, right? The hardest thing to do is deal with your kids and your wife, right, or your woman, right? That's the hardest thing because you feel like you can't please her. She wants stuff, and it's like, whether black or white, they're all the same, right? Just sounds like this, right? A black chick, if she hears somebody talking, who is that chick you talking to? A white chick will say, hey, baby, dinner is getting cold. What time you going to be home? Both of them are trying to figure out and clock you on your time, right? So in all reality, we are all the same, bro. We're all the same, and we can't get caught up in the hoopla of what we've been taught, right? Culturally speaking, we all been taught different. You take a white kid, grow up in the inner city, you take a black kid, grow up in a suburb, they're going to talk different. And the black community is going to say, hey, he's acting white. And the white community is going to say, you're trying to be black. No, he is a product of his environment. And we have to learn to overstand versus understand, meaning that if you know how big you are and you can hurt somebody, what do you look like challenging a guy that you know that can't even defeat you, right? So that's our ego. So we got to stop feeding our ego, because when we feed our ego, we miss the opportunity to inspire.
Product of your environment. I don't think people stress on that enough. It's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I've said that for a while. It's whether, like you said, those comparisons, it makes a difference. It makes a difference where you come from. And maybe you came from a different neighborhood, but then assimilated into another neighborhood. Your mannerisms are going to change. How you act's going to change. You're going to be a product of that environment.
Wow, bro. And you know, to segue into that, when we talk about the whole church thing, my father was a pastor for 20 years. And I used to think, right, that church was a safe place. But what I realized is that, hold on, people in church are so caught up in religion that they forget relationship. Love, right? You can have all these gifts in the world, but the greatest gift is love. If you don't have that, you don't have nothing. The ability for me to talk to you and you tell me all your junk, right? Everybody needs a trash can. And you dump it all on me and I say, hey, bro, I still think you're amazing. We don't do that because we want one up on somebody else. We want to feel like we are, you know, every therapist needs a therapist. Every pastor needs a pastor. Every
coach needs a coach.
There you go, bro. Like, that's just real, right? So when I've learned to humble myself, man, it's like, man, I really don't care about what nobody thinks about me. I really don't. I can't see racism from white, from black, whatever. I don't even look at that stuff. I just look at it like, hold on, where's the origin of where this came from? So a lot of times we judge the tree, right? But we never look at the soul of the root, where it came from.
When I was getting sober originally a while back.
Oh, wow. Congrats on your sobriety, man.
Thank you. One of the things I was coming, like, that got me was there was a saying, religion is for those afraid to go to hell.
Whew, wow.
Spirituality is for those that are coming back from it.
Whoever said that?
Somebody
somewhere. Couldn't be Nelson Mandela, because he never talked like that. That's powerful, though, bro. That's powerful. But this is the platform for Mike and all these guys to open them doors. This is the platform. People need truth, bro. Because you know what? People start getting money and stuff, then we'll be like, oh, if I do that. People, you know what people are afraid of? And that's why I respect you. People are afraid of solitude. They don't want to be alone, so they tell lies so they can stay in a group. Me, I'd rather be isolated, because when I'm isolated, always remember this. If I leave text or radio, anything, if you're isolated and you're hated, you're doing the right thing. If you're accepted and not rejected, you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, man. I could relate to that, man. I hate liars, first off. I like
being hated.
But I never told... I wouldn't share some stuff. Like I said, I was embarrassed, and I felt like they were going to judge me and this, and, you know, people did find out, and they did judge me, and I just felt like, man, I'm this horrible person. I was hiding from who I really am, and at the end of the day, it was hurting me. It was a burden I had to carry, and then the greatest thing that ever happened to me was opening up about my past, man, about, you know, I've had so many people I could never imagine who I thought would look at me and not talk to me anymore, and they reached out, and they said, man, you know, you're powerful, and everybody goes through some kind of struggle, man. Everybody has somebody going through something, no matter where they're from, their background, man. Like you even said, you grew up with a pastor as a dad, and a great family, man. It doesn't matter.
And even that, but see, even that, right? Like, my mom passed away 5 years ago, and I'm going to tell you what, that was a staple for me. I said, something that's tragic and has horrendous happening like that, I use that, to be honest with you guys, that catapulted my life. 2015 really changed my life for the better because I thought about it. I said to myself, hold on. Am I the only person in America that ever lost a mom? If I didn't, there's no reason for me to sulk into my issues. I have to use what makes me bitter to make me better, bro. We have to see radio shows like this, individuals like yourself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your little sister out there, 6. You have to change the narrative of how people see things, man. Because guess what? Like we get into like Black Lives Matter, right? You know, everybody will say, oh yeah, Black Lives Matter. No, everybody matters. I cannot consult or concur to that. Because everybody matters, right? Because I know what it's like to be black, right? Now, I know what it's like to grow up in a black environment, but I also know what it's like to grow up around black people, right? Your family, you can't choose your blood, right? But sometimes your blood is not even really, no matter how good your blood is, they'll treat you like trash, right? But nobody wants to talk that truth. We want to lie because we're afraid of offending somebody. Offense is good. Because it's growth if you are humble enough to receive it. So to hear you guys talk about this, I remember a guy came to my church when I had a church one day. He says, hey, well, you know, I got a certificate in pastoring and I have this. And I say, hey, well, tell me something wrong about yourself. Because if you can't tell me something wrong about yourself, you can be ineffective to my people. You can't help nobody, man.
If you show me a perfect person,
Man,
I'll call them a liar. It's a liar.
Right.
There's no perfect person.
Yeah,
Anybody
man.
doing that, they're not being honest with themselves, man. Yeah. Forget that.
But you know, when you think about it, bro, what seemed absurd is what preserved, right? So God preserves you, bro. That's all it is, man. You know, when you really recollect and you think about all the things that you could have done, sold drugs, put drugs in your body, right? Somebody tried drugs for the first time in their life and they died. We tried drugs multiple times and we're still here. So the gratitude and gratefulness kinds to kick in and says, hold on. God loves me, like no matter how imperfect I am, right? Your life is already written, right, and predestined. We'll say, well, hey, in 2000 such and such, we created Toxic Radio. No, it was already created before you did it. That's why the alcohol or drugs could not take you. That's why it couldn't take you. That's why your struggles could not take you, because it's purpose, bro. And that's a good reason to forgive yourself. That's a good reason to forgive each other. You know what I do when I wake up every day? You want to know? I say, what if today is my last day on earth? It motivates me to forgive. It motivates for me to apologize. It motivates me to apologize even when I'm not wrong. Because it doesn't matter, bro. All we have is this moment right here to make memories. That's it.
Absolutely, man. One thing I noticed you brought up.
I'm excited.
You mentioned when I first met you, you were doing a lot of this in memory of your mother, man. And
yeah, man.
My brother died in 2014,
Sorry.
and
wow, that's tough.
You say, like, you know, that hurts you. Unfortunately for me, it's what led me down that. I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't prepared. And I went from the dream life to within a year, man. I lost everything, man. Facing life in prison, lost my fiance, my dream job, everything you can think of, I lost. And even though that was the worst year of my life from 2014 to 2015, I sit back now, and it was actually also the greatest, because it got me where I am today. Them struggles, them dark days, them days sitting in that prison cell, not knowing if I was ever going to go home, them days thinking why my brother died, they built me, built this character, built the person I am today. And, you know, Hungry for Hope wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
So what you're telling me is that you actually didn't lose anything. You actually gained everything. You found yourself.
Yeah, so we had
Man,
one
that's
guest
powerful.
on. Dwayne said, you know, he don't call his past mistakes. He don't call them mistakes, man. He calls them learning experience. They're only mistakes if you don't learn from
You
them.
trying to make me cry, man? Because I see tears in your eyes in the corner. Like, what you trying to do to me, man? We big dudes. We gotta
sweating.
uphold. Yeah, you gotta be that. You ate a lemon or something. You gotta uphold this image of being a tough guy, you know. But I think that's passionate, man. You were so passionate about. When I met you, man, I just seen a piece around you, man, that just was. So powerful, bro. So powerful. And I believe that Toxic Radio is going to go to different heights and levels that you guys never seen before, because there's a genuine spirit in the air here, man. And, you know, you can't script this, right? Like, we're trying to figure out questions. We can't script this. It's just pure, right? I don't know, man. It's beautiful,
That's
man.
always the best way, man.
Yeah,
Just,
man. Yeah.
Just even like you had that happy, you had that big smile and that energy when I met you, and I had the same way. And people were like, "Why are you always happy?" Like every day's not good for me, but I know what it's like to go a year without smiling. I used to walk down the street.
Man, gel is enough, bro.
Yeah.
Like seriously,
I walked
no
down the
air in that
street,
joint, no
even when
nothing, little windows to look out of. That's crazy.
Even when I was locked up,
Yeah,
my brother
man.
died when I was on the street. If I walked down the street and you were smiling, I wanted to fight you, and I might fight you. I've hit people when I was going through that bad time because I said, "Why are they smiling? Are they
real,
trying
bro.
to make fun
That's
of me?"
real.
And I was out of my mind. I knew I was, but the train couldn't stop. I didn't know how to stop it. Nobody knew how to stop it. I knew it was going to end bad. I just hope I didn't die. And
Wow, man.
I was out of control because I was going through, it's all bad shit, all hit the fan. And so now I walk around that smile only because I know what it's like not to, man. I want somebody else to see.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm ask you a question. What keeps you, both of you guys, what keeps you humble in the midst of adversity, right? So when you're challenged with people disrespecting you and you're challenged with family issues and people not believing in you, what do you do on a daily basis to say that I'm gonna be humble? Because working out is one therapeutic thing that you do, right? What is that you do therapeutically to help your day every day?
Big time. How about you?
That's a tough one. I mean, I work a lot during the day. I coach people. I'm in a leadership position.
Awesome.
So it's constantly doing that and working with that, and I love it. I enjoy it. Some of the stuff I do right now is operation stuff, and that's why I'm so tired and don't
That's
feel
cool.
good.
That's
But
cool.
the majority of my job is to lead a sales team and motivate people every day. But I look forward to getting home to my fiance.
Wow.
Look forward to getting home and playing with my dogs. Like, it's
That's
a good
awesome,
life
yeah.
now. I'm not looking for the next bag.
That's real, bro.
Yeah, I'm looking
right.
I'm looking for my Chihuahua Presley when I get home.
Yeah, wow, that's real, man. What about you, bro?
Man, when I first got out, words can hurt when people say stuff and all that, but I don't let if somebody doubts me or something, man. Some people, let's be honest, I heard some friends and family members when I went through my time, so they might have the right reason to doubt me after they saw it. And if they don't finally catch on, man, words are just words, man. I do my shit by action. You want to see if I'm gonna change, if I'm truthful, just watch me.
But you have to be
Sit
clear.
back and
But you have to be
watch.
clear when you're trying to travel in that road that you don't have nothing to prove.
Nothing.
Because that could be a monkey on your back, right? Because we always say all of us say we don't care, but we do to an extent because we have this expectation that people's gonna love us the way we love them. But your past is your past, man. You made peace with yourself. You apologize to them, whether they're receptive of that apology or not. It actually doesn't matter because you're living in your truth now, and that's what matters, man.
Right. The way I look at it, I just burn up time.
Yeah.
I got a lot more of it, hopefully, but that was my pace. Like, I didn't necessarily make mistakes, or I did, but I learned from them and turned opportunities to strengths.
Wow, that's powerful.
Now, and then I look back on it, the only thing I burnt was probably like my 20s. That's only a decade, right?
Yeah, you still got time. Yeah, right. That's true, man.
Look, man, I did the pro wrestling. That's all I ever wanted to do as a kid. People want to do other things. That's all. I told everybody I was going to be a pro wrestler. They laughed at me. I even hit it when I got older because it was, people joke at me. So I didn't tell people.
You're a mixture of like if Triple H and Stone Cold had a baby to be you. I just want you to know that, like, for real. No disrespect.
Take that as a compliment.
Yeah. And John Cena with the arms, you know what I'm saying?
I was a lot
John a
bigger
little younger
wrestling.
than you, yeah.
People used to call me Brockberg. I was a lot bigger back then.
Brock Lesnar without the hair.
Yeah, they
I can
call
see
me
that,
Brock
too.
and Goldberg. Brockberg.
Oh yeah, man. Hold on, we gotta find out who the baby daddy is, man. Like, there's a lot of baby daddies out there, man.
I tell you, man, I did the wrestling. That's all I ever wanted to do. And when I got to that point in 2014, I'd be in the ring and there'd be all these fans. They'd be asking for my autograph. I wasn't at the top yet, but I was on my way, and I never felt so more not happy. These people, they idolize me, but I didn't like myself at the time. I feel better now when I'm out with Tim and Hungry for Hope. We're in Kensington, and I'm talking to somebody who's homeless, drug addicted, and I'm telling them, hey, look.
I didn't know Kensington was
mine.
that bad, bro. Like, somebody showed me that on Instagram. I'm telling you, man, it was the most horrendous thing I've ever seen in my life, man. I just to watch the police go by and actually support.
They don't stop.
I don't want to get into
they
that.
They don't do nothing.
Like, that was just terrible, bro.
Well, we go. There's Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. But when we go there, we do some stuff. We bring food. We cook. Yanni, who's producing the show today, he cooks. We bring
Wow,
hundreds
man.
of burgers.
Yanni, that's what's up, man.
He doesn't
Bless
bring,
you, brother.
He doesn't bring condiments, but thanks for cooking.
Oh, so hold on. So you make a burger without relish? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got all upset.
Let me get a couple 5 stars. Let me get one back, half of one.
He was
back,
feeding the homeless, and one guy was living on the street. Was like, "You don't have mustard?" Yanni was about to hit the guy.
You know, and then you really be like, "Yo, you got to be thankful that you got a free burger, right?"
But we go out there, and the craziest thing, we go to Kensington.
I want to go next time, man. Invite me. I'm serious.
Absolutely, man.
I'm dead serious.
It's like a war zone over there. People are worried about in our own country, right in our backyard.
Wow, that's powerful.
It's nuts, man.
Talk on that right there. That's powerful.
We have homeless people. We have addicted people. All colors, all things. It's a war going on in Kensington and Allegheny where we do this. And the most inspiring thing, man, when I said, do you say what keeps me going? Watching Tim. Tim was on them streets, homeless. My co-host was homeless.
Really?
Overdose on them streets.
Bro.
Brought back to life. Was dead on a corner in Kensington. And now I sit there and I watch him out there helping the people.
Wow.
He returned to the war zone that almost took his life.
He was out there?
Wow. And now he goes back. That takes the strength that takes, the person that takes. If that doesn't make them people, somebody who's been there.
Man, I see hundreds of people out there when I'm looking via social media, man. It was like the most, man, bro, that was hurtful to see that, man.
Yeah, it's rough. There's photo books of them, like people publish, like the streets of Kensington, stuff like that. I find that a little disrespectful, but
of course,
it's crazy, and it's just getting worse. Because you're right, the cops just basically segregate all the drug sales to one portion of the city, and that's like the safest.
So that's
place.
that's the way the AKA quote unquote clean up the streets, huh?
It's like
right. Protect
it's
and
an
serve.
open air drug market. Like you just go down, you can get whatever you want. And it's crazy.
Wow.
But, once in a while they'll ruffle some corners, flip over some stuff, but really, people just do whatever they want down there. It's like the Wild West.
Wow, man.
Man, we talk about hope, we talk about our failures, like I said, I want to have the good days, but I have the bad days.
Yeah.
You're obviously living some good days, man, now, but, on this show, we got to really dig down to them bad days, because I feel like people really understand you if you tell them where you came from, man. So I gotta ask you, man, what's one of your biggest failures, and most important, what did you learn from it?
The biggest failure for me is actually selling drugs, man, and being incarcerated in 2008 and facing a lot of time, man, for actually a drug situation. And I would say more importantly, man, is for me, it's going through that period of identity crisis, man. 2007, if I can recall, I tried to shoot myself, and the gun jammed 3 times. I was in Southwest Philadelphia. I was staying with this girl that I had met like a couple weeks before. I lied to her to find a way to have some shelter because my parents was tired of my mess, and with all this money and all I thought, all this false security, man, I wanted to kill myself. And when that gun jammed 3 times, I realized that I had purpose, bro. And, if you wasn't meant to be here, you wouldn't be here, right? And I think even when we lose people to the hands of drugs, right, or to the hands of violence and suicide, and we make it out even contemplating those thoughts, right, we realized that they had purpose, but we had something else fighting for us on the other side. And I think that was a downside, right? Thinking that I actually didn't have a problem when I had a major problem. I wanted to be accepted. And for me, growing up with a father that loved me clearly, but we have to go back to the origin of everything, right? My father didn't have really love around him from his parents. So he provided for me, but he didn't show me emotional love, right? And my father was an amazing man. Like, still to this day, my father is one of my greatest friends, right? But what I'm saying, he didn't have it to give, right? So we have to learn, what I've learned through my lowest points is go to the person that has it to give. That person might not be black. That person might be white. That person might be black. That person might be Oriental. That person might be Mexican. Go to the person that can help you, regardless of what, because all of us say, hey, we can be drowning in the ocean, and we'll say, hey, a boat comes out or a lifeguard comes out. Oh, no, I'm fine. I don't need your help. But we're drowning. we got to realize we're drowning, man. And no matter who is sent to help us, we have to go with our safety, man. And so what I've learned is that everything that was meant to take me out was actually a way to bring me out, man. So I think selling drugs, if I have any regrets, for lack of a better term, it's just that realizing that I hurt other people, man, and that's a low point for me to know that right now I might see some of my little cousins and I might drive my car. They don't know that my car is not a 2021. All they see is a nice Mercedes, so they be like, yo, cuz, I remember when you was getting money. And it's like, no, bro, I actually don't do that. But the lowest point is for me setting a bad example for other people. I can't even say what I felt like is the projection that I gave other people around me. So I think contaminating other people is probably the lowest point, because some people might die from what we came from, and we inspired that. That's low to me.
Yeah, man. One of the hardest things for me when I went through mine, doing the wrestling, kids, for whatever reason, man, it was the greatest privilege of my life. Kids looked up to me. Young kids, man, they bought my pictures, my autographs. They hung it up in their room. They cheered for me. I was just a regular guy who was living my dream, and I was about to make it. And when I got locked up, I felt like I let all them kids down. And recently somebody reached out to me. And they were a kid at the time, back 7 years ago when I was wrestling. And then they said, I was your biggest fan, man. I had your picture in my room. They had my shirt they used to wear to school. And then I got locked up. I was all over the front page of the papers. And they said they took the picture down and they threw the shirt away because, they were embarrassed. I let them down. And they said, but I've never been more proud of what you're doing now. And they put that picture back up, they said, and it was all worth it. They said to them, they learned more from me now than they did when I was wrestling, man. And that touched me. People you don't even know are watching. People are looking up to you. It's all over, man. Especially the kids, man. Kids that come from rough backgrounds, they need inspiration.
I think there's a difference between entertainment and enlightenment. So now you're actually giving enlightenment versus entertainment. Entertainment is like temporary, man. Like, oh, he dunked the basketball. It's like on to the next play. So now you're on to the next play, and you transition from entertainment to enlightenment. So I really believe that what's going to happen is I want to say this in encouragement to you. You're going to get back to that level. You're just not going to be wrestling now. You're going to be inspiring. This is going to go to another place, because if you wouldn't get there if you didn't belong there. You just didn't belong there that way.
Now you give me advice, and you had some help along the way and stuff. What resources when you were down out? You got to. I've been there. Getting out of prison, it's tough, man. Yeah, the cards are stacked against you, man. I'll be honest. When you have that criminal, when you get arrested, what resources helped you along the way? I know you had a great dad, great upbringing. Any other resources?
I'll tell you what. To be honest, man, and I want to reiterate this to social media world, to Toxic Radio. I am not religious. I am relational. I believe in God. I don't believe in the structure of how we say church is, or the Muslimic or Catholic. I believe in God, which is Jesus. So for me, it was His grace, man. It was His grace that done it for me, and my mother that really never gave up on me, man. Visited me when I was in jail, told me how much value I had, even when I was acting valueless, if that's a word. He likes me. I like him right there. He is so cool. Like, I really do, because he understands. He gets me. He really does. Black people, I'm gonna say that we make up words. So valueless, right?
I make up words.
Okay, well,
my saying is I don't do words, but
so
I
white
do
folks
do
it too.
Hooks,
I don't feel so ghetto now. No, but when I felt valueless, my mother told me how much. She told me everything I wasn't when I was being everything that I wasn't. She told me everything I was when I was being everything I wasn't. So it was God. It's people around me, man, that really encouraged me and gave me hope. And I shut my Facebook down for like 7 months because I wanted to spend some time to myself. But people, as soon as I put my Facebook up, they inboxing me like, "When you gonna put another inspirational video up, man? We need this, we need that." And I think the toughest thing, and I believe all of you guys at Toxic Radio can kind of attest to this, right? Is when you're doing the right thing, it seems like you get what? Less support, right? But when people talk about stuff that don't matter, that's what the world follows. So for me, it's understanding that if it reaches one, your job is done. So my inspiration is God, my mom, people that I have met along the way. School teachers that I have met that did not look like me, the same skin. I wasn't the same skin color as me, but believed in me. You know, so when people talk about the racism and this stuff in this world, we know it's prevalent, right, on both sides of the spectrum, both sides of the skin colors, right. I remember this lady, Miss Medelko. I was actually going to school for psychology, and I dropped out of school. And she told me, "You're one of the smartest individuals that I ever met." And I gave this Caucasian, a.k.a. white woman, the hardest time ever. And she never, ever gave up on me. So it's things like that catapult me early in my years, no matter the things that we go through in life and the controversy, to be like, no, people are people. So I think my mother was the biggest staple of me, and she's still alive in me. So starting an LLC and doing things like this is really a product of her investments.
You bring up the, I'm sorry, Tony, you bring up the LLC, man. Tell us, you mentioned something to me. Tell us, what's the LLC, man? I know it comes from your memory of your mother. Tell me about that.
Jewel
man.
Jesse, right? I am a jewel because I'm her child, right? So really, it's a credit to who she is. My mom had a wealthy womb, and she had wealthy sons and a wealthy daughter, which produced wealthy grandkids, and I'm a jewel of hers, right? So if I'm a jewel of Jesse, that means I fell from something that was royalty, and I'm just a product of it, right? A lot of times we look at, right, you look at the Ninja Turtles, right? Like for say, but people don't, right? Look, nobody looks at Master Splinter. Master Splinter can beat all them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk about how powerful the turtles are, but we don't talk about Master Splinter. There's no Master Splinter movie, right? So we are a product of greatness that is around us. So although we're one person, we're a compilation of different things. So for me, the LLC, man, feeding the homeless, clothing those people, going to places that people won't go through. You ever serve people? And of course, you guys do. When you guys go and feed people, and how they're so grateful for a piece of bread when we can make 12 peanut butter jelly sandwiches at our house, right? We don't think about stuff like that, man. You know, I remember one time it started when I was like in the 10th grade. I went to this girl's Nancy house, and I was popular. I played basketball. I was pretty good, right? And I remember you remember back in the high school we had the candy grams. Yeah. And Nancy was my Valentine. And she was my Valentine because I wanted to make a statement. Nancy, would not being funny, Nancy was smelly. She didn't have the best clothes or didn't come from the best place. But I wanted everybody to stop picking on her, and I knew I was popular. So I used my influence for everybody else to be like, oh, Nancy is cool now. So I walked around with her the whole day and bought her a balloon and bought her some candy, and then I took some clothes to her house, not knowing, right? You know you can live and not know you had a gift. I didn't know what was going on. I was still food at my parents' house to take to her house. And when I went there, they ripped through a bag of food and clothes like animals. And I never ever in my life seen nothing like that in my life. And that right there, I knew, hey, man, life is much bigger than money. Life is much bigger than fame. Like, I can go home. I have a honey bun. I have a Pop-Tart. I had choices, and I was only their option, man. So that right there, man, just motivated me to want to give. I get joy out of giving, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I get excited about giving people money. I'm excited about giving people time. I'm excited about helping people. And what we have to understand with our process of giving, as you all know, sometimes people don't even ask us, are we okay? That's the tough part about giving, right? Is that you're really on an island most of the time. People think you're okay.
Yeah. Like you said, man,
And I'm not okay. I'm okay. I'm growing every day. I'm not okay.
I've done a lot of shit in my life, drugs, you name it. I never felt what giving to people makes me feel. That's the greatest feeling ever, man. It's what drives me, drives me to get out of bed and want to do more. You help somebody who can't do nothing for you like you did, man. That really says a lot about your character. You helping that person. That's how I always been. Somebody getting bullied, I don't care if it's because of their race, their sex, their orientation, they're poor. I felt like me being a big guy like you are, man, somebody could throw their hands pretty damn good, too. I felt like I was made to help.
I'm kind of sharp, too. Yeah, I get you.
If I sit back, and let somebody call somebody a word, just bully somebody because of, their race, their upbringing, whatever, I'm just as bad as them. So, it might not be the popular thing, but I'll step up.
But isn't it funny how the attacker becomes the defender? That means that you've always been a defender. You just didn't channel it the right way.
Yeah, sometimes people need that, man. Especially like coming from me, even with this stuff going on in the country, man. They have us against each other, and some of these people have this hate, man. They see a big crazy white guy like me, and I say, yo, I'm not gonna tolerate that, you know. And there's gonna be consequences for me. Maybe if they see somebody like me, I feel like, you know, they might listen. Or I might just crack them upside their head and, you know, whatever.
I don't want no consequences, so whatever you say, sir.
Not you, I'm talking about
I submit to it.
the white people who have that hate in their heart, man. And
wow, see that's why I like you guys, man. When I came in the room, I said these brothers get it, man. But you know, I'm hard, right? Just like you said, the white people, right? I'm hard on the black folks, man. They can't stand it because I was actually at work and this guy came in for training and he had his hat backwards and I'm like, yeah, you know you're actually a trainer. Turn your hat frontwards. Where you at? You ain't in the projects. And he looked at me like, what? You supposed to be my brother. No, I'm actually not your brother. I don't even know you. But what I do know is that they'll fire you for doing that, you know. So I think a lot of times we have to, as black people that understand, and as white people that understand, quote unquote, whatever they call us, I'm not this color, you're not this color, right? We have to be afraid to go. We can't be afraid to go against the grain, man. We got to fight our people to understand that we shouldn't be fighting other people, man. You know, so I think that's powerful that you're saying that. You guys aren't afraid to go against the narrative, man, because I can't say that I ever got harassed by a white cop, man. Never in my life. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I have.
I got harassed by a black cop. I'm just telling you the truth.
yeah, but like,
and I harassed him back.
you know, you were arrested, man. That's what really opened my eyes. I kind of, you know,
Yeah.
I was sitting there on a murder block. You know, no bail.
Oh Lord, I don't know
life,
if my
and-
case. Yeah, see, I don't know if my case is better
guess
than his, but
there was people from all
yeah,
colors,
the murder block.
all backgrounds, and we all ended up in the same spot. You know, we might have been different color, different everything. We all were in that same spot, man. And when we're on a block where everybody's facing, you know, they're fighting for their life, man. It wakes you up. You see these people struggling with the same struggle. They might look different. They might come from a different part, man. That really opened my eyes.
Yeah, it's funny because we hear. I'm gonna tell you what. For all you guys that didn't be to jail, don't go to jail. Jail is whack. Jail is for suckers. Jail is for punks. You corny if you think you're a gangbanger or a gangster. You whack. I don't care if you got a tattoo on your face. You probably can't even fight. But listen, the whole point is when you hear brother talk about the blocks, that's different, right? In jail, they talk about the dorms. They talk about the pods. When you say the blocks, like he said, oh yeah, you did some stuff. Yeah, you on your way. It might be life. The blocks is different. Trust me.
Yeah, it's something, you know, that
I was
was
there.
That was one of the things, man. I knew when I went in there, I was in that mode, man. I didn't give a fuck anymore. So I went in there, and you know, I was in a bad place, and I was out of control, even with these killers, you know. And then one day, you know, when it finally hit me, I was in court one day, and the judge just said, you know, he's like, you should you really think about taking the 40-year offer, so you don't die in prison.
Wow, you was facing 40 years.
I'm thinking 40 years.
Wow.
No, I wasn't faced. That was the offer. I was faced way more. And he's like,
The offer?
I'm thinking in my life,
Jesus.
85%, 34. He's like, I'm going to take that so I don't die in prison. I'm going to die if I take that. I'm like 30. I'm not living past. And I'm thinking, that's when I was like, man, I couldn't change. I realized I couldn't change the system. I can't go back in the time, man. I couldn't take my charges away.
So what happened for you to get a release, man? I want to hear that. That's like powerful. Like you, I know you guys are interviewing me, but I'm more interested too. Also to know about you. So what happened to turn your case around?
So I went there, and at that point, I'd given up all hope, man. I realized, you know, I knew in my head this could be the rest of my life. But when somebody actually said it, my family's in the courtroom, that's what really woke me up. And I decided that day that regardless of where I spend the rest of my life, man, I'm gonna spend it in a good way, honor my brother's memory. If I got to do it and murder block for the rest of my life or on the street, and I started, you know, fighting back, and it took like a year. I was able to get a bail. You know, I had to try bail. It was a complicated case, and I was able to get a bail, and I got out, and I'm still fighting. I took care of a lot of it. I went and served some time over in Pennsylvania, took a 2-year deal over there. In Jersey, you know, the pandemic happened. It's been a while, but coming out and doing the right thing, man. A lot of my problems, they've been working out. You know, I'm not there yet, but
you're growing.
Since I started doing the right thing, and you know, it's a lot better than them scumbags who go talk to the prosecutor or fucking tell on somebody. And you know, I took responsibility.
No
I was like, hey
snitching.
man,
We ain't doing that.
I will go. You know, I will take whatever, man. I'm a man. I've take responsibility. I'm not blaming nobody. I ain't pointing one finger. I'd rather die in prison than do that, but I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to show them I'm not a lost cause, that I can do good, that I can help people. And that might somebody else going through something like that.
Man,
Sitting
if
on
y'all
that
watching
block.
this, man, use that as inspiration. He's actually saying that I'm working my way out of it, right? And keep my brother in prayer, man, because it's serious, man. He's fighting to do the right things, and the fact that you guys are rallying around him to support him is really beautiful. You guys are beautiful people, and he's still growing, and I think that's really the point for us, right? Every day you got to water the plant. If not, the plant dies, right? So we still growing, and I think when you think that you make it, that's when you failed.
Yeah, once you become content.
He's crazy.
Once you become content with what you're doing, it's
Right.
like you get complacent and then
Right.
you don't grow. But like, you said you wanted to ask some questions. So say you step into my shoes, right, and you're interviewing yourself. What question would you ask that we didn't ask yet?
What I would ask you is, at the moment of being stressed, in the moment of being depressed, at the moment of wanting to give up, who do you look to?
My family. My
Motivate.
fiance.
We got to ask him the question, man. During
Okay.
that time,
I got caught up, sorry.
No, I love it though. That's a good. Get caught up. That's good.
I want to hear you answer that question, man. You're the guest. Forget that. I want to hear you too, man.
I actually and let me reiterate it. I love to say this. I know all those church people out there in America don't like it because I used to be a pastor, right? I love Jesus, right? And I look to God. God is the answer for me. And I think, you know why a lot of people don't receive God, right? It's because we present him the wrong way. We say that God won't accept you if you do this, and in church we have become more about the money than the mission. So if you did this, God is going to be mad at you. But I tell you what. You can pay your way out of it. If you do this, he'll help you. And the truth is, God already loves you, right? You think about this. You take an egg and you take, not being graphic for the listeners, but you take sperm, right? And there's so many sperms that can hit the egg, and you did. You're 1 in a million. So you're here for a reason, not just a season. So for me, I understand that it's God, right? I don't, a lot of people try to script it. Well, it's the big man upstairs. No, he's not the big man upstairs to me. He's God, right? And I know my interaction with him. And what I want to tell everybody across America, whether you're on heroin, whether you're on drugs, whether you're incarcerated, whether you're white, whether you live in a project, whether you live in a trailer park, God loves you. And the reason he loves you today, because he already did before there was a yesterday. He's the reason for me, man. And that's my motivation. I stand on it. I stamp it. I'm gonna mess up every day. I sin like everybody else do. And actually sometimes I like sinning because sinning is fun, and whether we say it or not, right? We mess up, but it actually feels good to do the wrong thing, even though we know it's not wrong, right? But he loves me in spite of me, man. And if I didn't have a purpose, I'd been dead because I did everything to kill myself.
Yeah, man. You said you were in that point, and first off, I want to thank you for opening up. I know it's not easy, man, opening up.
No, man.
Especially people listen about, we've had other people in the studio, and it's really, it makes me, it inspires me hearing somebody talk about that time, when you thought your only out was suicide,
Yeah,
man. That's
man.
one of the big things I sat there, man. I always say the only reason I'm still alive is because I was too scared to die, but I didn't want to live. And,
Yeah, bro. Isn't that the most hurtful thing, to be dying alive? Right? Think about your low point when you feel like you was dying every day alive, when it took you strength to just get to the gym. Like lifting weights is a normal regimen for you, but you didn't even want to do that. Not even wanting to eat, not even want to sleep. Don't know if you're gonna die today or tomorrow, man. Honestly, those things have motivated me now because I've become numb to things. And what I mean is that I understand that people are going to be people. I just got to be me. And the way to free other people is to make sure you're not bound by what they do to you, what they think of you, or how they perceive you, man. So for me, would I say life is easy? No, but I would say it's easier because I understand now. Some things I can cry, I can bang on walls and break down doors, and some things I got to wait on the answer because most of us are stuck in a why. Why am I going through this? Why am I dealing with this? Why are they doing it to me? And then you got to ask yourself the question, why am I alive and somebody else died from what I'm struggling with?
Man, you said
Humble
that.
yourself, man.
You said that so right, man. During them dark times, I asked myself every fucking day I woke up, I said, why me? Why me? Why did this happen? Why did my brother die? Why did I get arrested? Why? And now, now when something like that comes, I say, yeah, me. yeah, you know, somebody's giving me this, if there's a God, if there's anybody above, you know, they're like, hey, I'm going to give this to my strongest soldier, man, so he can survive through this that most people won't. And then if he survives and goes back and tells people, he might save lives. People who would have died, they're gonna see that I made it through something. Damn, I shouldn't have. And that might change that, man.
If not
so,
you, then who? That's the question.
Exactly, man. And I take it all with open arms, man. Any challenge, man, there ain't nothing, man. I've been through so much, man. I'll take anything that can help other people, man. I'm ready. Give me it. Let's battle.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You guys are awesome.
But, you know, getting back to you, man, I guess now, you know, you've been through that, man. I'm sure when you're going through that stuff, people say, oh, when you're doing bad things, oh, that's the drug dealer, the guy who went to jail.
Yeah.
Now, when you're doing all this, what do you want people to describe you? When they describe you as a person, what do you hope they say now?
I hope that they say that guy's full of love and full of compassion, man. That man, he makes a difference when he comes to our presence, man. We can talk. You know, there's a lot of things that, you know, like he alluded to a lot of things that I have done. I don't even talk about, man. A lot of people I know I don't talk about because it's not important to me, right? Everybody's human. I know a lot of NBA players. One of my closer friends is a general manager worth over $300 million, right? It don't matter, right? Because he's a person. So, you know, I know what it's like to go sit at a game and have the players come over and talk to me like, what's up, bro? Glad you're here. That's cool, right? But none of that stuff matters, man, because at the end of the day, being in those arenas, right, we have to understand there's these beautiful lights here, right? And I first time I seen this light was actually at a barbershop. You can't let the lights drown out the light. And I think that's the problem. We get around these people and these things, and we think that we're something. I am not an NBA player. My friend was for 20 years. I am not Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid. They are who they are. But what I realize is those people that are in them steads need more help than people that. So, you know, everybody aspires to get money. If I had money, I'll be different. If that's the case, then Paris Hilton was struggling with drugs. If that's the case, then a lot of rappers would not be killing each other. Black rappers, right? If that's the case, then Martha Stewart wouldn't have stole. Not being funny. If that's the case, Ray Caruth wouldn't end up in the trunk. If it was about money. So a lot of times I think we focus on the trophies more than we do the treasure. The treasure is you. Not what you possess, not where you live, not where you drive. You are the treasure.
So, and like you said, man, I noticed that about you don't like to brag or talk about your strengths, man, but I can talk about them for you. You say your friend Elton Brand, you don't mind me, Elton Brand, you're friends with, man. Tell me about him. How's that, man? Just to have somebody who, like you said, is worth. They're the GM of the Sixers. They're big, and a guy like you, man. Being around him, tell us.
EB is one of the most. I tell you what, man. EB, if you out there, if you happen to see it, I know you don't got social media, but EB, I love you, bro. Thank you for everything you've done for me. EB is like the most humble guy you would ever meet. I would make his personality parallel to Kobe's, right? So what happened was I actually was living in Delaware for about 12 years, and out of nowhere, something invoked me to go to the University of Delaware. Now, I was oblivious to NBA having a G League. I knew nothing about that. It was a D League at the time, developmental league.
They're called like the 67ers, the Delaware
67. Look at it.
Yeah, I remember.
It's 87ers now, but it was 87ers when I was there. It was Blue Coats now, right? So they got arena all
I remember
around.
He was there. He was like coaching or something.
Right. So I was actually. I went down there one day out of nowhere, like, hey, man, you need people to volunteer. And I met some of the people before I even met him. And I was actually helping the ball boys get the players water and all that type of stuff. And we have a few ex-NBA players come, Shannon Brown and a couple other guys. Christian Wood, shout out to Christian. Christian doing really well with the Rockets right now, man. But I seen these guys, and I actually was coming in, and people would laugh because they'd be like, man, you out here when the ball boys didn't show up. I had to scrub the floors. When you see those guys run out when somebody sweat, they really big on that. You got to clean it up. So everybody, people that I knew was like, man, you working? I'm like, actually, no, I'm just volunteering. Like, I'm pretty cool. So he walks up to me one day, and he says, what's your name? And why are you so nice all the time? That's what he asked me. So I said, man, my name is Kente. I know you're Elton Brand. You're like, you famous, bro. Like, y'all don't have no privacy. And he asked me, like, what can I do to help you? And I was like, nothing really, man. Just thank you. Thank you for even saying that. And then 2 weeks later, he invited me over his house, and our relationship just went from there. And it's been a journey. He brought me through a lot of doors, man. I met a lot of people. I built a great relationship with Stephon Marbury, a lot of other guys, Allen Iverson, a lot of guys I built relationships with off the strength of that, man. And it's cool. I mean, you can't say it's not cool to sit on the floor and watch a game. It's just, that's cool. But for me, it's just that he was genuine. And when you hear Elton's story, Elton never met his father, man. Never met his father in his whole entire life. Grew up poor. Elton is from South Carolina. Went to New York when he was about 13 years old. Him, Lamar Odom, and Ron Artest was on the same traveling team, and he shared a lot of stories to me. And I remember one story Elton showed me was like kind of cool. He was like, "Yo, when I first got my contract, I blew almost all my money when I was a rookie down to like 70,000." He said because I was trying to buy these platinum chains when all the rappers and everybody was wearing white gold. He was like, me, Diddy, and Master P was the only one that had these chains, but I realized that I was really a clown because everybody else was doing something different. But this guy is the most genuine, has a wonderful wife and 2 wonderful kids, a son and a daughter, man. And that's my guy. And I say this, though. Even have a relationship with him, I don't call him every day. I got things to do like he do. The relationship is genuine. I don't want anything from him, Friendship is good enough. And what you realize is being where you are, right? What I tell people all the time, when you get around these people, just say it was somebody you inspired to meet. Not as difficult as you think to build a relationship with them. Just be normal. They don't want fans. They really want friends, man.
When you brought up Elton Brand, I just wanted to bring up because I actually met him. Me and my buddy AJ. I think AJ's tuning in. What's up, AJ?
Yeah, dope dude, man.
I go to a lot of games. I got lucky. I got these VIP suite, man. We had to take a private elevator.
Got lucky VIP.
Just me and my buddy are in this elevator. We walk.
He wants me to talk about my stuff, but wants to be humble, right? Like, stop it.
No, but we walk in the elevator, and who's there?
Now you're on the hot
Elton
seat.
Brand, the GM. We're in the same freaking elevator.
Dope dude, man. Dope dude.
You know what
man.
he says? What's up, guys? He's like, we're talking on the ride up, and he said, I just want to thank you guys for coming out and showing your stuff. He talked to us like normal.
And so
this guy's worth $300 million. He talked
so soft spoken too,
some
though,
washed
right?
up pro wrestler.
No, you ain't washed up. So soft spoken, but I love
You
Elton.
can tell he was genuine, man.
I love Elton. Elton is one of the. I'm telling you guys, one of the best human beings you would ever even encounter, man. He's just. It's what he's done for me is priceless, man. He put me in a lot of positions, man, and I'm grateful. And he didn't have to. And let me tell you something. Economically, we have nothing in common. Financially, we're not on the same level. So what I'm trying to tell you, anybody out there, if you want to get around people, be genuine. You don't have to kiss butt, man. People do that all the time. I'm not going to do that. I don't care who you are. And they know, like, I keep it real. I don't worship nobody but God, man. I don't worship people. I honor people. I don't worship nobody.
You say, like, I know when I was wrestling, man, everybody, friends, family members I didn't know existed, they're coming out because they see the writing on the wall. I'm going to be a millionaire. I was... all the magazines were writing, this guy's the next big thing. So all these people who never talked to me before were all of a sudden my friend. And me being, I'm like, yeah, it made my ego blow up, man. I got cocky. I was young. I was stupid, man. And all these people, the craziest thing is, you know where the majority of them went when I got put in the newspaper, when I went to jail, when my life fell apart.
They vanished.
They took away. They left. And now one of the greatest feelings is these people, these. You call them whatever. Maybe they had a reason. Maybe they're scumbags. But these people now, majority of them, they see me now, and they're trying to come back in. These people who deleted me from social media, deleted my number, didn't answer me at all during my darkest times, are now reaching out to me.
So when you say that you was almost making it, right, was that like, okay, the next match was going to be WWF or... So when you say almost making it, how close were you? Like, give people a picture. Give me a picture because I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I was training with Pretty Boy Larry Sharp. He was the #1 trainer for big guys. He had King Kong Bundy, Bam Bam Bigelow, The Big Show, Sheamus.
Wow.
Just about every big
Sheamus
wrestler.
funny, man.
He
funny.
looked for, like, big, crazy guys who could move too. He only took select people. I was handpicked. I had to go to tryout with 50 people, and he had to hand select you, and he brought me in. He gave me it's like going to like the Harvard of pro wrestling. And
oh wow!
And I went in there and I gave up everything for him, man, because I told him the first day. At first, I didn't agree. I was like, "What can you offer?" I was like, "I want to be a millionaire. I want to be in WWF within a year." He sat down. He's like, "If you listen, you give me everything you have. I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be a year, but you'll get there." And he always stressed to me, he had Bam Bam Bigelow who got there, and then he ended up getting hooked on drugs, and he died in a crack house in 2008.
Wow,
and
really?
I remember Larry said in an interview with one of the wrestling magazines, he's like, I just hope I don't want to see Donnie become Bam Bam Bigelow. And I'm thinking at the time, like, not gonna,
should get
die in
some
a crack house. And then a couple years later, I'm sitting, lost everything.
You should get some tattoos on that head, though.
Yeah, Larry got banned that tattoo on his head, but yeah, I did the rest of the. I had tryouts with WWE, man. They basically told me when I went to try out, like, don't fuck up, and you're gonna be here. They said just keep on, because I wasn't perfect even then. I had a little while pass, and they look into everything, man. They knew bar fights I got into. They talked to neighbors. You're an investment. You go into WWE, and they're signing you, and they're paying you, and they're paying for your housing while they're training you, and they're.
So you're saying that most of those guys, if let's speak on that, most of the guys that are entertaining are not like that, basically.
What do you mean not like?
Like when you say okay, say you were actually tough, right? So most of the guys that present that tough persona are not really like that, like they're in character.
Well, back in the day, wrestlers were some of the baddest dudes. Sometimes nowadays, yeah, they're cookie cutters or these like male models or back in the day they were legit badasses. But yeah, I basically had my dream. They said, Donnie, you can have everything you ever wanted since you were 5 years old, man. Just don't fuck up. What did I do, man? I fucked up. I went back. I fucked up again. And I just went back and made sure I didn't, I fucked up enough.
They gave you more than one chance.
That's basically,
I mean, you actually was good at what you did then.
Yeah, man. But, my first year was my greatest year, and that's not a good sign, They hyped me up, and we all have egos. People always say, I wish I knew what I knew now then. Because if I did, man, I'd be knocking on rock status, but at the time I was listening to these people who were pretending to be my friends. I was living that wild life. I was the first guy in the gym, but I was the last guy to leave the bar. That was me.
Oh, wow.
I did everything intense.
So you was going to workouts hungover.
That's not gonna last, bro.
Right.
That's not gonna last, man. It did for a while, but I listen to people with bullshit. You're signing autographs. It makes you. I forgot where I came from. I forgot that little boy who watched wrestling to escape bullying, to escape the life he didn't like at the time. That was my escape, and that's what I wanted to be. And now I was becoming these, and I got cocky. I forgot where I came from, man. That's why even now you ask how do we keep everything in picture. Every day I don't live in my past no more. I don't glorify it or nothing, but every day I remind me where I came from. I think of my brother and how he should still be here, and I think how far I came, and I always remember them bad days, man, because they're things that pushed me to.
How did you lose your brother?
My brother tragically died. He was he left his job, and he was working for Apple. He had the life everybody, what we think we dream of: money, cute girls, car, living in a nice place in Philly, and he just wasn't happy. So he sold everything, left his job, cashed out his 401k, had some stock in Apple that was worth a lot because he started there, years when they weren't as big, and he just traveled the world. He made a website called ifiweregoing.com. And, this guy, he went to Arizona State. He was a big football player. He never got in any trouble, and he just was looking for more in life. He started traveling around the world. He'd go to these little villages and bring toys to the kids who were.
Oh, wow.
And they would bring smiles, and then he's in Southeast Asia. Man, at the time, I was like, I felt like I finally, I got off the path a little of wrestling, and I felt like I finally turned that corner. I had a huge event coming up, and I was like, this is, I'm almost there. I could feel we talked to each other. And then that day I got to that event before I walked in the door, I found out he dropped dead in Cambodia. And there was no answers, man. They cremated his body. They said they couldn't, there's a lot of bullshit went into it. I'm dealing with U.S. Embassy and some little village in Cambodia. And that was one of the hardest parts. You want answers. Like, was it cancer? Was it drugs? Did he get shot? They never really gave us that answer. They gave us, it was all over the news. It was the media.
Was mom and dad like a philanthropist? Because there's a root, whether it was a grandmom. If you were giver and your brother was giver, then there had to be origin. Where did that come from?
We come from good parents, man.
Awesome.
He's just my brother was that kind of guy. Always wanted to see everybody else happy, man. And a lot of traits for him inspire me now. It's just awesome. Like I'm sure you had your father who inspired you. I'm sure a lot he still does.
Yeah, he does, man. My father's great, man.
But I gotta ask you something. We don't have too much more time, but Hungry for Hope, man. I told you all about us. We're all about giving hope to somebody who may have lost hope. Cause we lost hope at one time. We know what it feels like to sit there on that street in Kensington, overdose, to sit in that jail cell, losing everything. So I gotta ask you, man, what does hope mean to you?
Having opportunity, purpose, and enhancement, right? So you got to have opportunity. You have to to see your purpose, and you have to enhance and capitalize off the opportunities that's given to you. So hope for me is the moment that you have to create the next moment. Hope is looking at somebody else's situation and being grateful for yours. Hope is understanding that your value is not your house, your money, or your cars, and what people say about you, the money, the sex, the fame. Hope is I'm breathing today. And if I'm breathing, then I know that I can make a way. So for me, there is no fancy way of saying it. Is that if you're somewhere right now and you want to give up and you're listening to this, all I'm telling you is don't give up, because the only way out of destiny is death. Either you achieve your destiny or you die. That's it. It's double D. Double D in this world now is Dunkin' Donuts, but in this world, and the reality of things is either death or destiny, and you get to choose.
That's crazy, man. That's powerful stuff, man. Before we get out of here, man, if listeners, somebody listening, man, this is going to be all on Apple iTunes, iHeart, Spotify. We'll have it up on there like tomorrow.
So I'm famous. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Anybody listening, man, anybody says, hey, they want to connect with you, whatever, man. Where can they follow you on social media?
Motivator Mae, M-O-T-I, gotta make sure I know how to spell, M-O-T-I-V-A-T-O-R-M-A-E, Motivator Mae. I'll tell you where that name comes from. Mae is my mom's original name is Jessie Mae Doyle, which is now Jessie Smith Bay, her marriage name. So Motivator Mae. So she is my motivation. So she's a part of my inspiration. But you can follow me there, man. I do a lot of videos, just about life. I do 60 seconds, a 60-second blessing every day, because I feel like it don't take all day to tell somebody what they're worth. When you're going to Walmart or wherever you might go, just be a blessing to somebody, man. And I just want to thank Toxic Radio, man, for this opportunity, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. And I know it's ruffled feathers, right? I actually like to walk in this room and I see all my brothers that don't have the same skin color. I am actually a black man. For those in America that thinks all white people or black people are racist, I'm in a radio station with all white brothers, which are my brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? There's no color. But for me, I thrive off of controversy. I'm not going to lie to you. I like to ruffle fellas. I like to start trouble in a good way, because people need to be made uncomfortable. We don't want to be made uncomfortable. That's why we don't grow. But I would tell you, man, follow Hunger for Hope. These guys are doing an amazing thing. Hunger for Hope on Instagram. Toxic Radio is doing some amazing things, man. And they're really waiting to give back. So solicit your needs, man. They're trying to give back food, encouragement, clothes, whatever you might tune in, man, because sometimes your blessing might not be monetary. It could just be a word, right? So one word can change your whole life. So if I can say anything as I close out, watch what you say. Your mouth creates your mission, or it creates your misery. So today, if you're there and you're intoxicated with life, and you're homeless, and you feel like you have nothing, and you're poor, I am not an alcoholic. I am not a drug addict. I am not homeless. I don't want to be racist, whether you're white or black. I want to be better than what I am now, and I am. I will be a millionaire. So start declaring your life, because if you depend on people to do it, they won't do it. Your destiny or your death. That's your choice.
Man, we want to thank you. You have people commenting in the chat. They say, this guy's a real deal. Someone said, I love where he comes from and his take on life. Good dude. Another person, love this guy, man. I just want to thank you for coming on the show. Hungry for Hope Nation. I want to thank you for tuning in. Big time Tim Kudges, Reckless Donnie Hart. We got Yanni and the producers in the back.
Reckless Donnie Hart.
We're out of here. Thank you again, brother.
Man, I love y'all. Toxic Radio, man. Look them up. Hungry for Hope. Follow them. We gone.